بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم عما يتساءلون. About what are they asking one another?
The surah is Makkiyah and it's called Surah An-Naba and it's called Surah Amma or Surah Amma Yatasa'alun. And the Juz is named after it, Juz Amma.
عن النبأ العظيم. About the great news.
And the word An-Naba is only used for Al-Khabar Al-Azim. So An-Naba Al-Azim is emphasizing that this is a momentous, great, severe, important piece of news you've been given. And that is the news about Islam and the Quran and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Al-Yawm Al-Akhir, the coming of the resurrection.
الذي هم فيه مختلفون. That over which they are in disagreement.
What did the disbelievers disagree about? You see, the ayah refers to the disbelievers. They are disagreeing about the Quran, about the Prophet ﷺ. What disagreement do they have? Are they not united in disbelief? What do they disagree about? They're already all united upon disbelief. So what is the ikhtilaf? Between them is ikhtilaf. That's it, exactly. Some of them said he's a poet. Some of them said he is a fortune teller. Some of them said he is mu'allam, he's being taught by Ahl Kitab. Some of them said that he's insane. Some of them said, so all the things they said about the Prophet ﷺ, this is الَّذِي هُمْ فِيهِ مُخْتَلِفُونَ. Otherwise, they don't have ikhtilaf about whether it's true or not. They're all unanimous upon the fact that they disbelieve in it. But they differ over whether it is any, what is it any that, how did this news come? He said, Sa'di, he said, انتشر فيه خلافهم على وجه التكذيب والاستبعاد. Their disagreements are on the basis of disbelief and denial. It's not, they're not disagreeing like, I think it might be true, it might not be true. No, I think it could be true. No, it's not the disagreement. The disagreement is he a poet or a fortune teller or a sorcerer or a madman?
كلا سيعلمون. No, they are going to know.
And here, كلا سيعلمون, it's difficult to translate it. Maybe, but no, they will come to know. Kalla, it's not like that. Kalla, it means it's not like that. Kalla, it's not like what they say. They will come to know the reality of the situation.
ثم كلا سيعلمون. Then no, they are going to know. ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا. Have we not made the earth a resting place? وَالْجِبَالَ أَوْتَادًا. And the mountains as stakes.
And like awtad are the pegs of a tent. Al-awtad, they're the pegs you drive into the side of a tent. And so the mountains are like pegs. They stabilize the earth from shaking and they provide balance and stability to the earth.
وَخَلَقَنَاكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا. And we created you in pairs.
And in pairs doesn't necessarily mean male and female. All the pairs, the contrasting pairs, tall and short, fair and dark, male and female, whatever it might be, the different contrasts, the different pairs that we've created, you good and bad, kafirun wa mu'min.
وَجَعَلْنَا نَوْمَكُمْ سُبَاتًا. And made your sleep a means for rest.
And that's from the blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal. Could you imagine if you know what it's like when you don't get a restful sleep at night, when you don't sleep well at night, and you realize that sleep is a great blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا. and made the night as clothing.
And it covers you in darkness and it provides a means to rest.
وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا and made the day for livelihood.
And that's the default, right? The default is you sleep at night and you work in the day. Sometimes you might work at night, but the norm for people would be that you sleep at night and you work in the day. That's what Allah created the daylight for, to provide a means for you to go about your life and your livelihood and to work and to do what you need to do. And then you come at night and you rest. For what I say to people is, yes, it's true, some people might be forced to work at night and some people might work sometimes at night. But don't make a habit of wasting your night. Don't make it opposite to the wisdom that Allah created it for, where some people sleep all day for no reason, not for work, not for like a necessity or a need, but they just sleep all day because they like to sleep in the day. And then they stay up all night, and sometimes they stay up wasting their time, sitting around chatting to their friends, going out here and there, wasting their time. The night was made for you to rest. These, what do we call them? Anwar Sinaiya, the street lamps, the fake lights that come out on at night. Wallahi, they changed the habits of human beings. Could you imagine when there were no street lamps and lamps in your house except maybe an oil lamp you would have, that's it. What would you do at night? Wallahi, the first thing is you go straight home when it gets dark. And certainly by Isha time, you are home. Because what are you going to do? There is no light. It's completely dark outside. Except the light of the moon, the light of the stars, there is nothing for you. No one is out there shopping. No one is wasting their time. None of the shabab are stood on the side of the street. No one sat in a coffee shop. It's dark outside. You just go home and you rest. Sahih, you have an oil lamp in your house. You can see a little bit. So maybe you would spend a little bit of time to sit, to read, maybe to revise your work. You go to sleep. You wake up, you pray. This is how people used to be before all of these artificial lights. And when all these artificial lights came, suddenly we made the day and the night the same. And so people started to spend the night awake and the daytime asleep. And that's not how the Muslims used to be. Allahumma except in the Ashar Awakhir min Ramadan. It's not how people used to be. So I'm not saying it's haram to stay awake at night. Some people used to stay awake. The Prophet sometimes used to eat with his companions. Sometimes they used to go to sleep quickly, sometimes a little bit later. Sahih, they used to pray and so on. But this idea of having a habit which goes against the fitrah, your habit is to stay up all night. And then you sleep all day. It changes who you are. Like you can see the people who are like that, who they sleep all day and they're awake all night. They're miserable, generally people. Allahumma, when you have to do it for a job, you have no choice. Your job is a nighttime job. It's a nighttime job. You have to do what you have to do. But I'm talking about young kids, awake all night, come back 2 hours before Fajr, 1 hour before Fajr, sleep all day. It's not how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the night and the day for you. But try to avoid it where you can and try to stick to the fitrah where you can, for your work to be during the day and your sleep to be during the night. And one of the difficult things, where we are here in the north, and particularly not just the north of the UK, but the north of the world in general, the north of Europe and so on, you have a lot of difficulty in the summer. And I don't have a good answer for it. Like your Isha, you're coming home 11:30 at night. And your Fajr is 3 in the morning. Very difficult. But because the night is very, very short. So you have to sleep some portion of the day because the night is so short. The night is maybe 3 hours or 4 hours at most for the actual darkness of the night. But people should try their best, what you can do, to make the daytime the time when you do your work and your jobs, and to make the nighttime the time where you rest and relax. As much as what you can, and of course your nighttime prayers and so on.
وَبَنَيْنَا فَوْقَكُمْ سَبْعًا شِدَادًا and constructed above you 7 strong heavens. وَجَعَلْنَا سِرَاجًا وَهَّاجًا, and made therein a burning lamp. وَأَنزَلْنَا مِنَ الْمُعْصِرَاتِ مَاءً ثَجَّاجًا, and sent down from the rain clouds pouring water. لِنُخْرِجَ بِهِ حَبًّا وَنَبَاتًا, and that we may bring forth thereby grain and vegetation. وَجَنَّاتٍ أَلْفَافًا, and gardens of entwined growth.
Alfaf is like when the garden is thick, dense, so all the plants wind into each other. This is called alfaf.
إِنَّ يَوْمَ الْفَصْلِ كَانَ مِيقَاتًا, indeed the day of judgment is an appointed time. يَوْمَ يُنفَخُ فِي الصُّورِ فَتَأْتُونَ أَفْوَاجًا, the day the horn is blown and you will come forth in multitudes.
In crowds, yeah.
وَفُتِحَتِ السَّمَاءُ فَكَانَتْ أَبْوَابًا, and the heaven is open and will become gateways. وَسُيِّرَتِ الْجِبَالُ فَكَانَتْ سَرَابًا, and the mountains are removed and will be but a mirage. إِنَّ جَهَنَّمَ كَانَتْ مِرْصَادًا, indeed hell has been lying in wait.
When you think about it, mirsad is an ambush. Mirsad, it's been waiting to sneak up on you and take you when you didn't expect it.
لِلطَّاغِينَ مَآبًا, for the transgressors a place of return. لَابِثِينَ فِيهَا أَحْقَابًا, in which they will remain for ages unending.
Now, that's the correct tafsir, unending. And it's not as some people said that ages means a long time. Sahih, ahqab can mean a long time. But here the meaning is forever. Because the ahadith and the other ayat explain that Jahannam is forever. So لابثين فيها أحقابا, يعني أحقابا خالدين فيها أبدا. They'll be in it forever.
لا يذوقون فيها بردا ولا شرابا, they will not taste therein any coolness or drink. إلا حميما وغساقا, except scalding water and foul purulence.
I don't know how you pronounce that properly, but I think you said you did it right, purulence. But it means pus. And it would seem the discharge from the wound.
جزاء وفاقا, an appropriate recompense.
And that's, I think you need to think about that ayah. You need that ayah to keep it nasba aynik, in front of your eyes. Jazaa and wifaqa. All of this is a deserving, suitable, appropriate punishment for what they did. It's not dhulm, it's not excessive. Like sometimes you can be punished excessively, right? You did something wrong and maybe your parents come down on you like a ton of bricks, and subhanAllah, the punishment is excessive for the crime. Like in here, jaza and wifaqa, exactly what they did is exactly the punishment that they got. Jaza and wifaqa.
إنهم كانوا لا يرجون حسابا, indeed they were not expecting an account. وَكَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا كِذَّابًا, and denied our verses with emphatic denial. وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ أَحْصَيْنَاهُ كِتَابًا, but all things we have enumerated in writing. فَذُوقُوا فَلَن نَزِيدَكُمْ إِلَّا عَذَابًا, so taste the penalty and never will we increase you except in torment.
And you think about this ayah as well. فَلَن نَزِيدَكُمْ إِلَّا عَذَابًا. Every single thing that is going to happen to you after that is going to be worse. Every day will be worse, not the same as the last day. Don't say every day in the hellfire will be the same. Every day that will come will be worse than the day that came before. فَلَن نَزِيدَكُمْ إِلَّا عَذَابًا. The only thing we're going to increase you in is more and more punishment.
إن للمتقين مفازا. Indeed, for the righteous is attainment.
Any salvation, success.
حدائق وأعنابا. Gardens and grapevines.
Yeah.
وكواعب أترابا. And full-breasted companions of equal age.
Yeah.
وكأسا دهاقا. And a full cup.
Any a full cup of wine that does not intoxicate.
لا يسمعون فيها لغوا ولا كذابا. No ill speech will they hear therein or any falsehood. جزاء من ربك عطاء حسابا. As reward from your Lord, a generous gift made due by account.
And you think of this ayah. This ayah, wallahi, think of it in relation to what Allah said about the kuffar. Jaza'an wifaqa. Does Allah say about the believers jaza'an wifaqa? La wallah, it's not jaza'an wifaqa. For the believer, it's not you did something and we gave you equal. Jaza'an min rabbika ata'an. The first thing is it's a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah took what you did and gave you much, much more than what you deserved. And also, yani ata'an hisaba. This is a very profound statement here. Ata'an hisaba. It's a gift that was given based on an account. It's a gift based on an account. Meaning that the gift you were given was not random. It's not like randomly, okay, you can have Al-Firdaus, you can have the middle of Jannah, you can have the last place in Jannah, just randomly. La wallah, everyone's account was taken and the gift was given to them in accordance to the account that they had, in accordance to the account that they had, and in accordance to the deeds that they get. So the gift is calculated that it will be because or based upon their own good deeds, in addition to the infinite mercy and generosity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما الرحمن لا يملكون منه خطابا. From the Lord of the heavens and the earth and whatever is between them, the most merciful, they possess not from him authority for speech.
And also from the any meanings of ata and hisaba is that Allah will give you your reward according to the best of what you did. Lord of the heavens and the earth and whatever is between them, the most merciful. They possess not from him any authority for speech, and they cannot speak without his permission. They cannot speak without the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
يوم يقوم الروح والملائكة صفا لا يتكلمون إلا من أذن له الرحمن وقال صوابا. The day that the Spirit and the angels will stand in rows, they will not speak except for one whom the most merciful permits, and he will say what is correct.
The Spirit is Jibreel alayhi salatu wassalam.
ذلك اليوم الحق فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه مآبا. That is the true day, so he who wills may take to his Lord a way of return.
And the route that will return him to his Lord in a way that is pleasing.
إنا أنذرناكم عذابا قريبا يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يداه ويقول الكافر يا ليتني كنت ترابا.
Afan Abdurrahman, do you have the waqf?
No. إنا أنذرناكم عذابا قريبا يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يداه ويقول الكافر يا ليتني كنت ترابا. Indeed, we have warned you of an impending punishment on the day when a man will observe what his hands have put forth, and the disbelievers will say, "Oh, I wish that I were dust."
And the disbeliever on that day, subhanAllah, from the things you reflect upon, the disbeliever on that day will not wish he was from the people of Jannah. He will not say, how I wish I was from the people of Jannah. Ya laytani kuntu turaba. I just want to be dust, so that my life can be ended right now. But it will not be accepted from them, that their life will not be ended. Rather, they will be put into Jahannam, la yamutu fiha wa la yahya. And he will not die in it, and he will not live in it either. Everyone will see what their own hands put forward. And we mentioned the famous Arabic proverb, Yadaka awkata wa fuka nafakh. This proverb, it was said, Yadaka awkata, your two hands tied the knot, wa fuka nafakh, and your mouth blew into it. It said that there were a group of people who wanted to cross a body of water, like a lake or part of the ocean. And they couldn't swim, or they couldn't swim well. So they had with them the water skins. You know, the skins that you would carry water or something in. So what each one of them did is tie a knot and blow into it to make it into a flotation device and tie the knot again. So then he would go out in the sea holding his float. One of them, the float started to lose its air and go down and down and down. So the man started to sink. He called out to his friends. He said, save me because I'm sinking. They said to him, Yadaka awkata wa fuka nafakh. Your own hands tied the knot and your own mouth blew into it. So if you're sinking, whose fault is it? Yours. Your hands tied it. You blew into it. If it's not working for you, blame your hands and your mouth. For I say that because the Yawm al-Qiyamah, when a person comes before Allah Azza wa Jal, if you don't find فَمَنْ وَجَدَ خَيْرًا فَلْيَحْمَدِ اللَّهِ. If you found something good, praise Allah for the good you found. وَمَنْ وَجَدَ غَيْرَ ذَلِكَ فَلَا يَلُومَنَّ إِلَّا نَفْسَهُ. And if you found something that isn't good, who are you going to blame for it? Except your own self, because your hands did it. مَا قَدَّمَتْ يَدَاكَ. This is what your hands put forward. Now we can continue to Surah An-Nazi'at.